Alrighty boys, so today, this marks a day in history, as there's a new way for producers to sell beats to YouTube content creators. Yes, you heard that right. Sell beats to YouTube content creators, so let's go ahead and talk about it. So while this is something that you may not have thought about doing, this topic has kind of came and gone in our Discord a few times. It was always kind of the question of, do you think that I could sell beats for YouTubers to use in their videos? Now, the main issues have always been, how do I even get in contact with them? How much would I even charge for this? And what would that contract or license even look like? And honestly, the best answer to these questions have always just been go to a YouTube music library. These are platforms like Artlist, Epidemic Sounds, and for our videos, we use Envato Elements. You may have heard of these before, you may have not have heard of these before. But now, it all changes as YouTube is introducing a new and groundbreaking feature for producers and even artists to now sell their beats to content creators. And by the way, you would have actually known about this a few days ago if you were on our newsletter. Shameless plug, but I gotta do it. So I'll explain how this works in just a second, but you may be thinking to yourself, doesn't this feature already exist in YouTube? And yes, YouTube does have an audio library feature where creators can currently go and download music for their videos. But with the releasing of this new creator music feature, it's going to change in two huge ways. The first change, and this is something that we're hoping for, is that the music is going to be a lot better. I can't lie to you guys, I personally never used the YouTube audio library for any of these videos because most of the tracks on there are terrible. Let me play a few of the tracks for you guys, just so you can hear them. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some good ones on there, but a majority of them sound like someone's first beat. Also, I've never done any personal research of how you actually get your beats on here, but it's not just something where you can upload tracks and they're good to go. It's kind of a confusing process. And we also don't know anybody who's put their music on the audio library, so we're not really too sure how the payments work and exactly how you are paid. But with YouTube launching this new creator music feature, here's the gist. Content creators will now have access to a hub in the YouTube studio where they can purchase music from artists or producers to use in their videos. So essentially, this is going to bridge the gap from music producer or artist to actually get their music in front of these content creators and have them be able to purchase a license to use it. So I want to switch over to the computer here just so I can actually read this off to you guys so that way I don't say anything wrong by paraphrasing. So essentially, there's going to be two ways that creators can now use your tracks within their YouTube videos. So the first option is they are going to buy a license where essentially they are going to pay you an upfront fee. Now it's important to note that YouTube is probably most likely going to take a percentage of that sale, so you will not be making 100% of that money. Now, in terms of pricing, we also don't know if YouTube is going to have a set pricing. We don't know if YouTube is going to have set contracts or you're going to be able to edit your contracts and change your pricings. We don't know that yet. There's still a lot that we don't know, obviously, because this is so new. So when that information comes out, we will share that with you guys through our Discord, through the newsletter, most likely. And then the second option, which I'm glad they added this, is revenue share, where you and any other producer, any other artist on the song with you are going to get revenue shared from the AdSense made from that video. Now, YouTube also says here, and this is one of the major upsides about this whole process, this platform, is that if you decide not to buy a license for a track that isn't eligible to share revenue, you can get a content ID claim on your video, or you can also get a copyright takedown. Now, there's also still a lot of open-ended questions and discussions here of how are you actually going to claim that money that comes from Content ID and keep track of all of that. But it's just good to know that because of how YouTube systems are set up, there's definitely a lot of protection on your end and your music. Obviously, the biggest issue when selling beats online is you don't know if Lil Jimbo is ever going to go over his 50,000 stream limit because you can't track that. Now, of course, this does open some discussion and some questions about what if you're using loops in the beats that you upload for these content creators to use. Now, obviously, YouTube has definitely accounted for that not every single beat or instrumental or song is made by just one person, so I'm sure they're gonna have something in place to handle that. Now, currently, this feature is only being tested in the United States. They said that they're not gonna globally release it until early 2023. So for now, we just have to wait patiently, but I think this is gonna be a great time for you guys to start looking into learning more about sync licensing and kind of structuring structuring your tracks and learning more about how you can fit your music to actually fit into YouTube videos, as you know, the standard type beat to use in a YouTube video, it might not cross over the best. But either way, this is a huge and new opportunity for producers and even artists to monetize their music in another form, so definitely take advantage and look more into this. Peace out and have a good day, guys.